Bike exam, we passed, boys. Chat, we passed the bike exam. Easy. So this is how it went. This is how it went. We get there. We do a few practice runs, and then, like a final boss, the examiner shows up, right? Because so you have your instructors there and everything, but they don't give you the test. Somebody comes from out of the city, an examinator, the examinator, with huge letters on the back of his jacket saying examiner, and he just walks in like a boss, like a final boss. He walks into the practice place. I'm already sweating bullets, dude. I'm looking at the guy. He doesn't make I'm not even memeing. I'm not exaggerating anything here, chat. I'm not trying to dramatize this. He doesn't make eye contact with anybody. He just looks straight ahead and just walks through. Walks by every single student who's going to take the test. He doesn't make eye contact with a single person and goes straight to one of the instructors. I'm sweating hard. The instructors comes up to me, says, not word for word because this is not my real name. This is not my in-person name. He says, Grappler, you're first. I'm like, oh no, dude. Why'd I have to be first? I want to see somebody else go first. But thinking back on it, it's probably good I was first because I would have been sweating more bullets if I was second after I saw what happened with the other person. So I'm like, okay, Grappler, you got this. He's like, well, right now, take off your helmet, put on your mask, because, you know, COVID, and go introduce yourself to the examiner. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be very polite. I'm gonna social engineer my way into his heart, and we're gonna be friends right before I take the test. I'm gonna befriend him in the few seconds I have before we take the test, so he can be lenient on me and not fail me. So I'm walking up to him. I can't smile, chat, because I have a mask on my face, so I can't give him a very welcoming smile. I come up to him. I say, "Good afternoon, sir." You know what he does? He doesn't even say good afternoon back, dude. He doesn't even look me in the eyes. He just says ID. Like, looking away from me. I'm here. He's looking here. He's like, identification. I'm like, oh no, dude. Oh no, this guy doesn't want to be friends, man. He doesn't want to be my friend, man. All my social engineering plans out the window. I'm like, which ID do you want? My normal ID or my driver's normal ID? I pull out my normal ID. I point at him. He's like, no, don't give it to me. Just show it to me. I'm like, I show it to him. I take it back. Sign here. All right. Go do the test. Now I'm sweating more bullets. Now my heart is like, because there's some parts of the test where no matter how well you ride, you can mess them up, dude. Because the entire motorcycle test you have to do in super slow motion. You're like, going at like, not even exaggerating, the speed you do the test at. For those of you who drive cars or drive motorcycles, how fast in miles per hour, kilometers per hour do you think the test is done in? You're not allowed to accelerate past the speed. I'm gonna convert it to miles. The test is done. I meme you not. Around 3 to 3.5 miles per hour on the motorcycle. 3 to 3.5 miles per hour. There's a small section where you accelerate to about 6 miles per hour. Dude, do you know how hard it is to do maneuvers at that speed? Do you know? Hey, Sea Dog Master Swag with the sub for 2 months. Drive it like you stole it, baby. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, buddy. In kilometers per hour, 5 to 6 kilometers per hour. Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to be doing very technical turns and going through little mazes and stuff at 5 kilometers per hour or 3 to 3.5 miles per hour? Any little misturn you do with the bike and it's going to tip over, right? And you got to put your foot down. It's really constricting. And then you got to pass around cones and stuff, and you got to go on this little tiny ramp and then go through the ramp and accelerate on it and change gears. So it's not like you're driving at a decent speed, right? Where the bike has good handling and it doesn't tip at all. No. You go at ultra slow speed. Not only that, but it was raining, chat. It was raining, not super hard, but it was raining hard enough that the bikes they give you, because this is the Detron's bikes, or the organization's bikes that does the driving thing. The bike's brakes don't work properly in the rain. So this is how the brakes work. You press it, nothing's happening. You press it a little bit more, they catch, right? Super hard, and the bike just goes plup, plup. So the brakes don't work properly in the rain. It was 5 of us who had to take the test. And the worst part, the moment the guy came, right? I didn't know this. I did not know this. But the examinator we got, because there's like 4 or 5 different examinators who show up depending on the day. The guy I got is the worst one possible, the strictest one possible, who loves to fail people. I had no idea. I got the worst guy. Because I told you guys, he passed me by doing his walk where he doesn't stare at anybody. And I was not next to my instructor. He went to the instructor. Instructor came to me saying, Grappler, you're first. Go talk to him. During that walk there, when he passed me by, because everyone else was with the instructor, I was the only one practicing. My instructor told the other students, guys, this is the bad one. This is the bad instructor. Out of the 5 of us, 2 people automatically asked to get taken off the list for the exam. Out of 5 of us, 2 of them said, I don't want to do the exam today. Because you're legally allowed to say you don't want to do the exam if it's raining. You're legally allowed to reschedule the exam if there's rain. They didn't reschedule because of the rain. They rescheduled because of him, dude. The moment he told them, this is the tough guy, everyone is like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. Because if you fail, you have to wait 3 weeks before you can do the next one. And you have to pay again for another exam. 2 people automatically took their names off the list. I didn't know this. I did not know this, dude. So, I'm there. He tells me to do the test. I get on the bike. Dude, I was so nervous. I had a few mental strategies to deal with it. I did pass. I did pass at the end, yes. And so you're allowed to get 3 negative points before you fail the test. And I did the test perfect. I made 0 mistakes. You know what he did? He took 2 points off. He took 2 points off for non-existing infractions. I read the rule book, bro. I read the rule book. I read all the rules for the exam to be exactly sure that I knew everything that could go wrong. He found 2 imaginary points to take off. He did. I finished the exam. I'm like, yes, nailed it, boys. I can tell my stream I did a perfect test, no mistakes. He looked at me. You lost 2 points because you were braking very hard. Braking very hard, huh? First of all, there's no rule for braking very hard in this test. I know the rule book. First of all. Second of all, that bike can't brake soft in the rain. The brakes don't work, bro. The brakes don't work in the rain. You can only brake hard and you don't brake. What am I supposed to do, bro? But I didn't complain because 2 points or no points makes no difference. I passed. You can get up to -3 points. So yeah, dude, I would have slipped more than $5 behind his pocket. You can't. I was trying to get on his good side, like to give him a little, wink, wink, or anything. But no, the guy doesn't look at you in the eyes. He's like one of those guys who just looks away, doesn't want to be anybody's friend. Okay, so I passed the exam. The second person, really cute girl. She's like 5'1", really cute, but she's been training so hard. She's so good at this course, dude, because she's so tiny. She's like one with the bike. You think she's one with the bike, dude, this girl who's coming after me. And she's like compact, and when she drives the bike, it's so easy for her because I'm like 6'3", and the bike is like this, and I'm like, oh, you know what I look like on that bike? Because the bike is so tiny. Let me see. I want to show you guys what I look like. I'm not even memeing here, chat. I'm not joking. This is an actual representation of what I look like when I'm riding the bike. I repeat, this is not a meme. This is me on that motorcycle when I'm driving. This is me on that motorcycle, dude. It's tiny, dude. The motorcycle's like this size, and I'm on top of that thing. You know how hard that thing is to balance, dude? Do you guys have any idea how hard that thing is to balance, dude? It is so difficult. I try so hard, but like all my weight is up here and this little bicycle is like tipping, turning left and right. I can't do it, chat. I'm not good enough, but I managed to pass. I managed to pass. This little girl though, man, I was so proud of her because we used to practice in the same time occasionally. She was the exact same size, like she was perfectly fit for the bike. She had no problem balancing, man. So when it rains, one of the requisites is to have your visor down, right? You have to have your visor covering your eyes. You're allowed to have if it's raining, you can sometimes get foggy visor from the inside. So my strategy was this, right? This is because my visor was getting super foggy because it was really cold raining, and on the inside it's the steam of the breath or whatever. Every time you take because there's 2 spots you can take a stop on, you have to take an obligatory stop and then use whatever. So on these 2 stops, I would always stop, lift the visor, clean the inside with my hand, close it again. And I got to do this 6 times because it's a couple of stops you can do. So 6 times during the test, I took my visor up, cleaned it, put it back down, continued on every obligatory stop. Dude, you're allowed to have the visor permanently slightly open, but my visor is open or is closed. I have no way to put it in the middle, so I couldn't do that. The girl had her visor like up to here, which you're allowed to do, because that way it fogs up less. She starts the test, everything perfect. No, like I was shaking the whole time. I was like this, dude. I was nervous and I was like making these little turns, but my bike was like shaking. I looked like I was having a seizure the whole time. The whole test, I looked like I was seizuring on top of the bike. I just wasn't falling, but the bike was like, I don't know how some screws didn't go loose from all the vibrations. I don't know. I was a mess. Her, dude, she was perfect. Perfect movement. Nice and around, nice and around. Like, I kid you not, about 30% into the test, she's doing everything perfect. Perfection. He raises his hand. You failed. Dude, the people watching, her instructors, the rest of us were like, oh no, dude. Oh no, dude. She was doing perfect. No mistakes. She looked like she owned the motorcycle. She was so... Why did she fail? Your visor was too high. You're allowed to have 1 finger of opening. She had 2 fingers of opening on her visor. She had 2 fingers of opening on her visor, dude, instead of 1. Even the instructors were like, what an asshole. She was doing so good, dude. She was wrecking the course, like no mistakes, not even close to making a mistake. She was like perfect. 2 fingers of opening on the visor, failed. Dude, I was pissed. One part of me was pissed. The second part of me was sweating bullets because I knew that would have been me if my visor had a way to like half open. I would have done it. I would have failed for that. A third part of me was sweating bullets because if I would have seen that and gone second, I would have fallen. I would have literally like fallen on my head from the nervousness if I would have seen what happened to the first person taking the test. If I would have seen her fail and gone second, I swear, my bike would have done a front flip and I would have landed head first onto the floor out of nervousness. I don't know. I don't know how I would have done that, but I would have done something stupid. Lost the visor, dude. Can you believe that? She lost to the visor. Now I understood why 2 of the 5 people actually took their names off the list. Just because of the instructor because of the examinator that was doing the test. Third person, he was like a brother with me, man. We were like brothers during this thing. I was giving him advice. I was like, yeah, bro, every time you take a stop, take like a good 15 seconds to centralize on the next task. Don't do the whole obstacle course in one go. Every time you do a mandatory stop, because there's a couple of places where you have to stop the bike for a minimum of 3 seconds and then start it back up again. It's like a simulated like intersection stop or whatever. I tell them there's no minimum amount of time you have to do these stops for. So every time you do the stop, take a few breaths, visualize the next part of the course, and do it until the next stop. You know, it's a good time to. I took about 10 to 15 seconds every stop minimum. I also cleaned my visor or whatever. I gave him good advice. He went on there, nailed the course, man. Way less nervous than I was. Way less nervous. You're allowed to lose a minimum of 3 points. He finished the whole course. The examiner at no point raised his hand to stop him, to fail him. He passed, but he got -3 points. I was like, what? He did a perfect course. -3? -3? You know what the instructor says? You turned on your right indicator about 2 feet earlier than you were supposed to. It was too early to turn it on. -3 points. He ran a perfect course. Any other misplay would have cost him the entire course, dude. -3 points for turning on the indicator like 2 feet earlier than he should have. Okay, so -3 is actually the correct negative thing if you misuse an indicator. If you don't turn it on, basically. Like, if you take the right turn without putting on the right indicator, you're supposed to lose minus 3 points. But nowhere did I read a rule that you lose minus 3 points for turning it on slightly early. Dude, this guy must have the biggest power trip. So he did the part, he passed. There was the last two, because it was 5 of us, took their names off the list. Do you know what he did once he realized there was nobody else to take the test? He didn't even say goodbye. He didn't say congrats. He didn't say good luck. He literally just took his notes, turned around, and walked away. Didn't even say anything to anybody. He turned around and walked away to his car and drove off and just left everybody in disbelief. He didn't say GG's. No. No GG, no well played. Left and drove off. You know, I have a theory, chat. I have an actual theory. I think he's low-key. Okay, he's high-key asshole, but low-key genius. He has solved the meta for being... No, hear me out, chat. Hear me out here, chat. He has solved the meta for being a driving examinator for tests. Imagine the average examinator who works 8 hours a day. He works 3 hours a day. He knows, first of all, half the people who he's examining are going to cancel their test. He knows the other half he's going to fail early. He's cut his workload from 8 hours a day to 3, dude. He's a genius. Now, you got to be a certain kind of asshole to work this way. But he solved his meta. It's like he's like the elusive player of Legends of Runeterra, you know? He's like the player when the expansion just hits and there are all these new control cards everyone wants to play. He queues on ladder with the old tier 1 elusive deck and just climbs and just breezes through. Sure, it's a really rude way to do it. You know, when expansions first hit, there's a kind of a camaraderie between streamers and viewers and players and everybody that we're all going to try new decks and have fun together. And then there's the actual rotten apple in the tree who decides to go pure elusives and just glide through and just beat everybody up. That's him. But it's genius. It's in the same time as being a rotten apple, it's a little bit of genius behind it, right? So yeah, it's pretty cool. That was my experience yesterday. All right, I think that's enough story time for now. What do you guys think?